Okay, so welcome guys to this video. Today we are going to be practically talking on Django. So let's get into the video. So of course, first of all, I would like to introduce my terminal. So I've been doing a lot of things. Yeah, doing so many things. So today we talked about Django. I said Django is a Python backend framework that is used for server-side applications. So we said that Django is based on three things. That's something called an MVT architecture. So okay, let me just quickly open my notepad to talk on some things. So MVT architecture generally, yeah, what did we say MVT architecture was? So yeah, let me reduce that. So increase this size. So we said MVT architecture stood for let me just okay, give me some few minutes. MVT. So what was that? Said MVT stands for model, view, and finally templates. If you're with me, I said models were what? I said models were the database. What's actually uh contains the data fields. So a model is a class that actually runs data. So just put database here, and of course, what is a view? A view renders the front end. So when I say renders the front end, it simply renders your HTML document so that you can see it on the browser. So that's what a view does. A view renders your HTML. And finally, we have a template. A template is simply the HTML document itself. So HTML document itself, that's a template. HTML document. So now that we know that, so yeah, so when you create to create a Django application, of course, remember we talked about a lot of things. So well, now that you guys understand this, we can get into the dev part. So this is my terminal. I'm using a HP laptop. My notebook is HP, so yeah, we Windows users actually use PowerShell. So for you macOS and Linux, I'm telling you the other one that you can actually use. So like I said, we use PowerShell. This is the abbreviation PS. So C is our main drive users. DSOGMAS is my laptop. So this is my username, desktop, practical, and things like that. So well, here I've created a new Django project, but I'm going to leave this particular directory and come to my desktop normally. So um generally, it is recommended before you start a new project that you should create a virtual environment. Remember, we talked about that. I said that that's used to isolate dependencies so that what will happen, so that in case you want to install different libraries, like we are going to install Django. Generally, I have Django installed on my interpreter already. But if you create a virtual environment, you need to restore Django inside the environment because everything you are going to be doing is working inside the environment. So, how do you create a virtual environment? You just use the Python flag m with the venv keyword and my env. So what I'm writing here is that the name, of course, I'm using Python with flag m. Venv is, of course, the keyword used to create a virtual environment, and my env is the name of my virtual environment. So when I run this now, it should actually create my virtual environment for me. So of course, virtual environment is something that a lot of files need to be set up. So you need to give it some few seconds, and it should actually do that. So it has done it already. You can see that it has brought my my directory back. To run this, to activate the virtual environment, there are actually different keywords you use depending on the kind of system you're using. Uh, for Windows operating system, you go by saying my env slash scripts. Scripts is starting with capital letter S. Script slash activate. So that's for a Windows operating system. So when I run this now to activate, but for I think Linux and Mac OS users, that's for Linux operating system and Apple users, use source. Then this practically the same thing. Source my env I think slash bin. Instead of script, you guys use bin slash activate slash activate also. So yeah, you can actually search for the keyword. So I'll really be sticking with Windows operating system. So yeah, my env slash scripts slash activate. So if I run this, you can see that it has already put green here, meaning my virtual environment has been activated, right? So yeah, but I won't be using a virtual environment. Why? Because I will need to install Django afresh, and I'm not currently connected to any Wi-Fi or data with my laptop, so I'll be deactivating this virtual environment with the deactivate keyword. And what will I be doing? On I'll just be working on, yeah, it naturally. So let's go. Okay, could you just give me some few seconds? Yeah. So yeah, let's get into what we're doing. Yeah. So okay. So if I open this now, I've deactivated virtual environment, so you can see it's gone. So finally, it does start by saying Django admin to create a new project. Django admin. Remember the projects start projects, then the project name, let's see, we call it what did we call it last time? Okay, form, project name form. So when I press enter, it will actually start a new Django project called form. So it has started that. I can navigate to form. When I navigate to form, you can see that I've navigated there. So because I'll be using Sublime Text, there's actually a keyword to open it automatically with tab now. That is sub l dot. But you need to have Sublime Text in your environment variable. So when I press this now, you can see Sublime Text has actually opened that. So let me take this to this side and voila. So we have two of them standing right here. If you don't know what environment variables is, let me just show you. Let me close this. Environment variable is something. Okay, let me search for it. You actually type in env, and it opens this up. So you can see what is here. If you tap it, you come down system variables and you go to what is called parts here. When you tap this part and you press edit, it will open things for you. So you can see everything I have. I have Git, I have Node, I have Python 3.1, the latest version of Python, Sublime Text, and random things. So that's just that for that. So anything you install, any software, you have to attach it to your system environment variables before you can be able to communicate with it. So let's open Sublime Text. Which one was it again? I think it was this one. Yeah, form. So you can see everything there open. Um, Here you can see this structure, the WSGI web server gateway interface, just like what we talked about today in the class. Come down, you can see what it has here, urls.py, settings.py, ASGI, and init.py. So I just wanted to show you the proper structure of this today. Finally, you can let me start the Django development server by saying Python manage .py run server, and of course it will start my server but still tell me that I need to make some migrations. Why? Because some things have not been done. So you can see that it has actually started that now for me. So you can see you have 18 applied migrations. To apply those migrations, you use Ctrl C to kill the server. So it has killed it. So of course I run Python what? I run Python uh manage.py make migrations. It will likely tell me there are no migrations to make. Manage.py make migrations, and after that, what happens? You can see okay, yeah, okay, I used comma, sorry, I meant to use this uh Python manage.py make migrations. So after you make this, it's working. So no changes detected, and finally I can migrate, just like we did today. Manage.py migrate. So to migrate those things for me, yeah, that's what it's doing here. So it's finally done. So here I can now start the development server again. .py run server. So it's actually running the servers for me. So it has finished running the server. I can actually check it out by pasting this, copy this, Control C, Control C. Then we can head out of here and let's say go to browser. Okay, let me use Edge for example. Let me open up my message. So I'm going to paste in this in Edge and you will actually see. So okay, let me paste it here and you see it work. So you can see is the install worked successfully. Congratulations. You are seeing this page because the bug is true in your settings file and I've not configured any URLs. Remember what is told you. So imagine if you go back to, let's say, where is Sublime Text, for example. If we go back here now and we go to our settings, remember that this is the main app. If you go to settings now and change debug equal to false, see what happens. We will not be seeing that setting again. So if you come here now and change this to false, press Ctrl S, and we try and reload the page, it's actually going to reload the server for us. So let's just give it some minutes. If you don't check this, you must get settings allowed host if the bug equals true. Okay, so yeah, let's go back to settings. So you see command error, you must set settings that allow host if bug equals to false. But yeah, it's already been set, but I guess we can just add some few allowed hosts here. Like we want of course a particular port 127.0.0.1 to be able to host our yeah, our project, and we also want to be able to use localhost to host. So if this doesn't work, I guess we just better change it back to the bug set to true. But I'll show you how to actually do all that. So okay, I think we've saved that, so we can let's save this here. Control S. Okay, so let's try the server again. Edge, load. Okay, so you can see what it's saying now. Home can't reach this page. Of course, that's because the server is queued. So let's quickly restart it. Yeah, we'll quickly restart that. Python Manage.Py Runserver, right? Okay, so let me try and reload that. Yeah, so you see setting the bug equals to true, meaning it's not actually reading that. So we have updated allowed host to allow these two hosts, so it still be setting it to true. But then if you can always change that when you are pushing to production. So as does that for that. We have so many things. This is the form. You can see that immediately I did that, it created database for me. So you can now see these boxes in my laptop. You can see that these are just columns and rows of different characters that are actually telling the database what to do and execute. So up to 8,192. So yeah, that's that for that. Let me speed run this up. Okay. That's that for that. So guys, this will be ending the video. I just wanted to show you a walkthrough of how to start up Django. In the next class would actually be yeah. So in the next class we'll be creating views, models, and forms. Yeah. Okay, settings of power has been modified. Save changes. Yes. Let me save that and close. So thank you. See you guys in the next class.